Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is Dr. Clark, Dr. Dana Clark, and we welcome you to Survey of Management. Right off the bat, we want you to do well in this class. We want you to be successful and to get some learning out of this. At the bottom of the syllabus, right off the bat, is how to take a quiz. There are 16 of those. So right off the bat, that's where you go to figure out how to do that. How to take a test. There are 4 of those. They tell you how to do that at the bottom. How to sign up for the Wall Street Journal. And then finally, how to do your flip grid introduction. We want you to introduce yourselves to the rest of the class. So there's a flip grid assignment, and the introduction is and how you do that's at the bottom. Obviously, Survey of Management. I am Dr. Dana Clark. If you'd like to know more about me, you can go to my LinkedIn page. My office number is listed, but I'm not in the office a whole lot. My cell number is there, but my wife goes to bed about 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So, if you have an emergency, you can call me anytime. But if it's not an emergency, try to call me before 8 or 9 o'clock at night. Now, office is 4076 Peacock Hall. We have put this fax number in years ago. We don't ever use it much anymore, but it's there if you need to, and of course my email address. Survey of Management office hours. I'm usually in Boone on Mondays, and I'm usually available to meet Monday afternoons. I'm also in Boone quite a bit on Thursdays and could meet Thursday morning or Thursday around noon. But if you have a need to meet with me, that's great. Just send me an email and we will set up a time. Part of what we do in this class is you're going to do 16 chapters, but you're also going to read some articles in the Wall Street Journal. You can see at the bottom where you go to sign up, student rate, the whole thing. Wall Street Journal, if you look at the right side of the page, when you pull it up, you'll see the 5 or 6 most read articles. I urge you to start reading one article a day. Start reading one article a day and read one of the most read articles. It will help you to get into conversations. It will educate you. You are going to be a leader of an organization. How do you monitor what's going on in the world so that you don't end up strategically in the backwater? One of the ways you do that is to constantly scan environments to see what's going on. Wall Street Journal is a business publication. It's sort of moderate in its political stances. But the big thing is to read those most read articles, because those are 5 or 6 of the most read articles in America. And again, you find yourself in social situations. How do you get in the conversation? And one way that you get in the conversation is to know what they're talking about. Well, what are they talking about? And quite often it'll be one of those articles. Another thing that I would suggest is if you'll see various financial articles, and if you go in, and I'll send you more on this later, you need to start learning about how to manage wealth. A reality of your life is we don't have retirement plans anymore where you just retired and you get so much a month from the organization. It's not how it works. It's 401k. You're going to have to invest money for the rest of your life so that when you do retire, you have enough money to live on in your declining years. That means you're going to need somewhere between 2 to 4 million, maybe even more. It sounds impossible that you could ever save that much money. The honest answer is you can if you get started early. So where do you invest your money and how do you make that work? Right now you probably don't know, but you really need to get into that. And you won't understand these articles when you start reading them entirely, but if you read them long enough, you can. My daughter works for UBS, the Union Bank of Switzerland. She's in wealth management. She's a certified financial planner, and she helps all of her friends and everyone she knows invest their money so that when they get ready to retire, there will be some money there. So I'm preaching at you a little bit, but learn how to invest money. Try to read out of those articles. Again, the most read articles. Try to read one of those a day. You can read a typical article in 5 to 8 minutes. All right. With the 7 assigned articles, you need to write summaries, and we're going to do it with bullet points. Now, Usually get some kickback on this. Why do we have to do it in bullet points? You are not a generation that reads paragraphs. You read short things. In the business world, we communicate with bullet points, the essence of it in 10 words or less. So you have 5 bullet points, and you have to communicate each bullet point in 8 to 10 words or less. If you go more than 5 bullet points or more than 8 to 10 words, you lose points. I've had numerous students over the years contact me after they've graduated, and they've told me one of the most valuable things they learned in this class was how to write in bullet points. So you're going to be assigned some articles, read them, right, and then tell me about them. I'm asked quite a bit, what's the difference between an A and a B when it comes to a summary? If you read an article and you just basically tell me what's in it, that's not an A, all right? If you read an article, think about it, and then tell me what it means or tell me how it impacts the industry you're in, that's an A, all right? So if you just report what's in there, it's one thing. If you read it, think about it, and then communicate something unique with it, that's really what I'm working for. Love to see a major keyword at the beginning of each bullet point. No more than 5, all right, 7 articles. They will be assigned on Mondays, and you'll have an entire 5 days to get it back. So they're due by 11:59 p.m. on Fridays. You need to monitor your ASU email accounts for more information. These will be assigned to you. We also want you to read and comment on what other students have written. Yeah, here's what we don't want. Gee, I liked what you said, or gee, I agree with what you said. Look at what they said and think about it and make some meaningful comment on it. You might even disagree with someone. Reasonable people may disagree. You never attack a person, you just disagree with an idea, all right? And again, here's where you go to sign up. I have put in big letters here all assignments, all right? You have, you'll eventually see 7 articles, an interview write-up, 16 quizzes, and 4 tests. You have deadlines on these. In the real world, deadlines count. So please don't wait until the last minute. Gee, my computer went down, my dog got sick, I had to go to the emergency room, whatever. These things, every assignment in there is given to you well in advance. So please don't wait to the last minute. We have extreme system challenges. If you go past the deadline, it's really difficult for us to put anything in. And when I say the 100 rule, I have over 100 students this term. Anything that I do for one student, I have to be willing to do for 100 students. So what I'm communicating to you here is if you come to me with a request for something, I didn't get it done, I'm more than likely not going to work with you, all right? More than likely, I'm not going to give you the answer you want. Every once in a while, there's some extenuating circumstance, but it's very rare. Grade evaluation, 4 tests, that's 50% of the grade. Once you hit the button to take the test, you get 1 shot. So be ready when you hit the button, okay? Quizzes, there are 16 chapters and 16 quizzes. Again, note, you get 1 opportunity, so be ready when you hit the button. There are going to be 7. I want you to read dozens of articles out of the Wall Street Journal on your own, but I'm going to assign 7, and you'll do write-ups on 7. And we will have we're going to interview 1 person. That will be uploaded for you to see, and we're going to ask you to do a write-up on that. Always questions about, how do the grade numbers work? This is my covenant with you. Once everything is added up, that's how we come up with the grades. Course objectives. This entire class is built around the 4 functions of management: planning, organizing, influencing, and controlling. So we say if an organization could be for-profit, not-for-profit, first thing you have to do is you have to come up with a plan. What is it that we're trying to accomplish? What are our goals? What is our mission and our vision and our value statements and all that sort of thing? But the biggest thing is our mission. What are we trying to do? And then we have to configure an organization to achieve the goals that we have. For instance, The Appalachian State football team, our plan is to win football games. Our plan is to win the Southern Conference. How are we going to organize it? Well, we have an offense and we have a defense, and we have line people and we have linebackers and all that sort of thing. Influencing, we have to get the right people. Here's a popular book out there, says it this way. We have to get the right people on the bus, and we have to get the right people in the right seats on the bus. We have to have the right culture. So we plan, we organize, and then we influence, and then finally we control. We have to be brave enough to go back after we've done all this and say, well, how are we doing? Does anything ever work perfectly? And the answer is almost never, all right? We're going to have to go back and tinker with the plan, or tinker with the organization, or tinker with the people, or where we have them sitting on the buses to better achieve what we're trying to do. We're trying to help the managers of tomorrow, that would be you, to begin thinking through your own management style. There's as many different management styles as there are people. Well, what is your style going to be? You're one of those people who's going to graduate from college, and the societal expectation is you're going to be one of the leaders, which means you're going to have to manage successfully a variety of different types of organizations. Well, what is your management style? What works for you? The next bullet point, to demonstrate how managers may operationalize modern management theory. This isn't really a class for management theorists. This is really a class for managers. So there's some theory thought in the textbook, but the big question is how do you operationalize it? Will this work? Okay. We will discuss organization stories, cases, that sort of thing to demonstrate different management points. And we'll largely do that with Wall Street Journal assignments. We need to tell you right off the top, this course is not open to business majors. So if you're a business major and you somehow slipped through the system and got in, this class will not count for you. This is, you'll see this quote here, this is what we actually have out there for what the class is about. Reading material, Certo and Certo, Modern Management, and the Wall Street Journal. You are responsible to make sure that you're officially registered for the course. Every once in a while we'll have somebody that somehow slips in the system, takes all the tests, takes all the quizzes, but was never officially registered for the course. And I can tell you, we've tried to go back and say, well, look, they did all the work, and the deans here will not post-do it, and we've had students who literally had to take the class all over again. Make sure you're you're registered for the class. Various university policies and things for you to look at. Then the class itself. If you look at this, right off the bat, we've made an assignment in Flipgrid. We want you to get to know each other. A whole lot of life is networking. Believe it or not, you have to put down the cell phones and the iPads and what have you, and actually go out and meet and interact with people. We'll do that electronically through Flipgrid. It's not as good as being in a classroom, but it's more personal than other things we could do. So, and we want you to respond to at least one other student, all right? And this needs to be done by Friday, August the 20th at, you see this deadline, 11:59, all right? I think you should go in and look at everybody. Networking is everything. Where are you going to get that next job? Where are you going to learn about things? Quite often it's through networking. Then you'll notice that what we do is we assign 4 chapters. In this case, Chapter 1, Appendix 1, Chapter 5, and Chapter 17. We're trying to give you an overview for the class, all right? And then after a number of class sessions, you'll see that we have, all right, on Wednesday, September the 1st, all quizzes for the first 4 assigned chapters must be completed by 11:59 p.m. Please do not try to take 4 quizzes in one day. What we're doing is saying you have a deadline to have them all done by this day. Then test 1 must be completed, and you see the date, should say 11:59 p.m. on that date. You see that we have various Wall Street Journal articles assigned. If you look at that, we assign them on a Monday, but they're due on Friday at 11:59 p.m. So you have 4 or 5 days to read them, to think about them, and to comment on them. 5 bullet points, all right? Then as we go through, you see we have 4 more quizzes and test 2 due by Monday, October the 4th at 11:59. Let me just say, I have had some students take this class that basically had all the quizzes and all the tests done by late October. It's set up so that you can work in advance. So if you have a schedule that's really back-end loaded, you have a bunch of team projects or other things in other classes, I urge you to go ahead and knock this out. It's set up for you to do that if you want to do that. Again, Wednesday, October the 27th, test 3 with the quizzes due the day before. Set it up this way. Again, we have test 4 done by Wednesday, November the 17th. I think we're pretty good with this. Now, on Monday, November the 22nd, we're going to assign an interview to you. We're going to interview a gentleman, and we will upload that in a way that you can go in, and it'll be in a Zoom sort of thing where you'll be able to watch it. But the write-up on that is due Monday, November the 22nd. Monday, November the 22nd is a controversial day. It's the Monday before Thanksgiving. And I have all these students, well, I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to be out of town. I want to be with family. Note, it's just due that day, okay? I would urge you to do it long before then, all right? But it's technically due that day. Then we have Thanksgiving break and really should be done by Monday, November the 22nd. Most of you should be done by then. Again, I told you how to take a quiz is listed here, how to take a test is listed here, how to sign up for the Wall Street Journal, and how to do your flip grid assignment. So I think this is a short, easy, logical syllabus. If you have questions, anything you want to ask me, then send me an email, call me, whatever. Again, we want you to do well. How do students get into trouble with this class? They let it go for a week or two, and then they try to cram everything in the 48 hours or the 24 hours before a test. They try to do all the quizzes and all the tests at once. Very important that for you to learn anything in the class, you don't want to be cramming. So as we go along, please do the work, all right? How can I help you? All right? Dana Clark, look forward to working with you. Take care.